Well, today we are shearing Coco. She is number 16 on the list of sheep that we have shorn. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today in full. We're going to be talking about my favorite sheep shears. Yes, folks, it's April 26th and I am wearing a toque. It is cold today. We had -1 last night Celsius. So needless to say, summer seems to be slow to come this year, but we've had this before. But today we're going to talk a little bit about my favorite tool for shearing and also a little bit about Coco here because she's got a story behind her and an amazing fleece. Look at that. I mean, you can bury your hand in there. It's incredible. And she has this gorgeous, can you see that curly undercoat? Unbelievable. Coco, here we are. Let's see there? Unbelievable. She has the most incredible fleece. Coco is the only sheep so far that we have kept on the farm for purely fleece, as she's no longer in our mind a breedable ewe. Coco had some trouble last year and we had to have the vet out for her and we lost one baby. And we made that decision that it was kind of her second time having a tough time. First time for the vet, but second time having a tough time. And so we made the decision that we were no longer going to breed her. But sometimes productivity for meat is not the only thing that these sheep are here for. This golden, super soft fleece is worth the amount of feed that she will eat every year. Just take a quick look at that. Isn't it beautiful? And she has very little vegetable matter in it, which is awesome. So one of the biggest selling features for me on these shears is those wonderful short blades, 3.5 inches long, which makes them super, super workable, easy. I never worry about nicking. I feel like I have so much more control with these. Yes, it might take a little longer than what those big 7-inch shears would do, but I do love the feeling of control. I buy these at our local wool growers here in Canada, but you can order them directly from Burgon and Bow online. Absolutely love these. I'm going to put in a little clip from the video when I sheared Lila, and I show how much control I had doing the belly area of her. The belly area is always something that people ask me about and people have trouble with. And I will be honest, it is a case that you don't get it all. The nice thing about those bred ewes is they will naturally shed their belly. The yearling ewes are a little bit more tricky. You have to try and get as much as you can. In the 8 years that I've been shearing sheep, leaving some of the belly fur has never seemed to cause any damage. They always eventually shed it out or rub it off on something, and it works just fine. This type of work right here that I'm doing, that's where it's nice to have these short-handled ones. If I was trying to do this with these, you can see the difference in size. Trying to cut under there and not slice her would be virtually impossible in my mind. These just allow me a little more control to really get in there and not upset her. As you can see, I have a lot more maneuverable space. But as you can see, I'm not getting everything in there. There is a lot still in there. But these shears, these short-bladed ones, do just make it a lot easier to tend in this area. All right, so we're all done shearing Coco, and we're going to talk a little bit more about these shears and these shears. Now, I hate these ones. I feel like I have no control whatsoever with these. I never use them. This is the original pair. Well, to be honest, they're both the original pairs. Had them for 8 years. It's just a personal preference, really. These ones I sharpen all the time. I'm going to show you right now with our little sharpening stone. It's super, super easy. I find it always works great. I sharpen them before each fleece, and I've never had a problem. 8 years going. So like I said, Burgon and Bow, both of them are Burgon and Bow, double bowed, and I love the spring back. I will put in the description, I'll put a link to where we purchase these from. One of the perks to the 7-inch blade, as opposed to the 3.5-inch blade, would be the size of the cut, obviously. You can cut a lot more fleece in one swipe with this, but your sheep has to have the right fleece, we find, to do it, and it just doesn't work for Icelandic sheep. Between having a break and not having a break and the thickness and length of their coat, I find these ones very difficult to really get under the fleece and get that nice clean cut. Where these I find super simple. I can just keep going along. Often I can pull out that break, as you've seen in many of my videos, and just clip as I need. It works great. And the control I have for in those problem areas like under the chin or under the belly where the sheep don't really want you to be doing it, these work great. I will admit, first year or two, there were some nicks. Everybody does it. But I've now been 2 years, maybe even 3 now, of shearing the girls and boys, and no nicks. So I definitely can't say enough good about these shears and the amount of control you have with them. And for someone starting out, this is where I would start for sure. Advance to the big guys later when you feel a little more confident about it. But that's not all we're going to talk about in this video. We're kind of answering viewers' questions because we've had a lot of questions since I've been posting these shearing videos. And one of the things that comes up quite often is what we use for tying the sheep up. And to be honest, it is so simple. You can buy it at any tack shop, probably any feed store even. It's a horse lead rope. Now there's a few things though that I will say you need to make sure you're getting. Basically, one of the main things you want to look for with your horse lead rope is a clasp like this, where you can pull this little bit right back and you've got a nice circle here that stays as a good circle, because it's very important when you clasp onto that lead rope that it's a free moving thing. So definitely test it when you buy this. This is, I think it's nylon, to be honest. Nylon with, it probably is a blend. I'm sure it didn't actually say it on the tag when I bought it. I did buy it for a horse, in fact. But it's about 3/4 of an inch, maybe 5/8 of an inch thick. And you just want to make sure it freely flows through that clasp so that it never tightens and stays stuck around their neck. It always kind of loosens back off as soon as they release the pressure. Beyond that, there really isn't too much to it. It's a lead rope. I think this one was 22 bucks at our local feed store. So it shouldn't be too much, and it works great. It has, actually, the one thing I will say is it's very similar to a lasso rope. It's very similar to a lasso rope, whatever you want to call it, where you basically have that free moving thing. So I will say I have caught many a sheep kind of in the lasso style of doing this and just kind of getting ahead and pull. It works great, but you just have to figure out what works for you. I think we'll quickly just go over my tying method too. Once I've got the sheep, I basically just use whatever post I have available, whether it's a pillar in the barn or a post on the fence outside. All I do is go around and I just kind of half hitch up and half hitch up again. And that's it. That's all I do. It's a quick release knot, so if for any reason they get tangled up or have an issue, it's a quick pull. Very important. Quick pull. Because they will pull, they will fight you, but they figure it out pretty quick. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. We are always eager to answer questions and share our experiences, so don't be shy. If you have a question, even if it seems like a silly question, you'd be surprised what you need to learn to do these sheep properly. And I'm not even sure we're there yet. We're still learning, but I'm happy to share anything I've learned with you.